then you mix it with it. Yes, you call there. That's it. I flew over here. Maganda si Pisa mo. Ako na nag siya nagtamak ano mo tamak the next generation. How do you think? For the future. There's been like we got number to talk. So my name is Flett. Happy to see you. I say good morning, everybody. We acknowledge our Creator today, giving us this opportunity to come together and talk about the future. I want to mention something about this thing here, this bank. Right? It's there. At the top, it should say, we build all season road from Vancouver to St. Lucia. Because my friend here, Eric, he mentions the high cost of living for remote places. It's really quite challenging. A lot of times you feel that it's not right. Not right to do that to people. Even though they've been living there all their lives, they still need to improve because they are human beings with decades in the book. If we can have that access, I'm really sure lives in those First Nations will improve. Not only them, it will open up, improve the lives of everyone in Manitoba, Canada, North America, because there are a lot of economic benefits that open up. But at the same time, we still want to maintain and protect our water. Not just as First Nations, but for everybody in the planet. Because water don't need us to survive, right? But we depend on water for our survival. So that's a little bit something to mention that. You know that this road, we put in a proposal, everything's in there. Everything. Three different scenarios. The most expensive cost was about $519 million. That's the highest end. But we probably won't need to spend all that money. Probably go down to 400 million. It depends on how good we are and how well connected we are with our land. And if you want to know, you want experts, people that know about the land better than anybody else, you won't see the First Nation people. Okay, so that's not to mention that. And actually, I registered later. They're sitting, and I hope I can get some sort of message across. You ask them. So we need people like that to advocate, especially as corporate people. I have to change a little bit of strategy to find the funding there, because business people, like to sponsor governments. That's what I'm saying, another twist. Great partnership. So in talking then, I want to introduce Mr. Wayne Mason sitting over there, young man. Quite young. Right? And people like that, we need to develop capacity. They learn and they carry this work. And Councillor Victor Walker, very young. People. He follows me around. This is me. Assistant General of Innovation, people. There too follows me around wherever I go. But those are young people, very young. And I'm happy to involve the youth that they do the work later on. Say when they're making music, especially well, I can expect them to see them. It's good. I like it. So, I want to introduce Mr. Kate Heinrich, young man, follows me around everywhere, all over Canada. We're going to talk about I'm a progressive thinker, right? I like challenge. I like to challenge people. Not just for the sake of challenging, but to challenge people, the process, so that we make improvements to the lives of people. Not just for us, but everybody. So we started working on, what's that thing called? For society. Yeah. We started that a couple years ago. I think though I was bored, I didn't have work. So this is what we came up with. Free ride EV education program. You can hold it.
Oh yeah, here.
These are coloring books. It's on electric vehicles. It's in different languages, in new language, big language, business language. This one is Anishinaabe. That's for the folks living around Heinrich. Area. Kodak. And this one is more for Cree. It's in a Cree language. Where you might be able to read it.
I can't stay within the lines.
Oh yeah? I never could do that too. You know, when you're coloring, you can't stay in the lines. That was messy. Yeah, those are coloring books for grade kindergarten to grade 5. We're going to introduce them to whoever is interested out there, electric vehicles. I was saying that our youth need to know this kind of thing, and I think we should start them at the young age, right? You can put that up. Most of that. Okay, Kent, as I mentioned, we did a solar panel project, right? And then we had 800 solar panels put up on our schools. And we have we put in a monitoring system.
No, we can go on there. We can figure that out.
Yeah, it's you can access it on the Wi-Fi. And I'll tell you for our high school, it's on my phone today, where we produced 8.0 kilowatt.
Yeah.
That's just today, this morning.
470 kilometers EV travel. This month, it's produced 17,851 kilometers worth of power from the high school roof.
Yeah.
That's a lot of driving in St. Teresa Point.
17,851 kilometers. That's just this month.
Right? That's right.
From the beginning
Yeah.
of the month. Kent will talk on that, the plan, because every First Nation don't have, they're not great. We can take a fully charged school bus, or any kind of vehicle, a full charge, and we can drive around 5 days before each another charge. If you want to think like that, but Kent will explain all that. We have a monitoring system at our school, high school, and we have another one that's at medical school. Right. Saji, that's just a solar panel. And if anybody is interested, we can help out. I think that's it for me. I'll let this nice young man tell you all about the other stuff. And hopefully we all get together and create a vision together and create capacity that will save our planet. Clean air, right? Clean water. We want our trees and plants be healthy. That way we become healthy people too. Right? So talk to them. Have a good day, everybody. Thank you for listening to me. I hope I made some sense. Right? Maybe hopefully my passion build that road. Very joy to see peace and all season.
Thanks, Chief Flett. So preparing for this, he said, we got my PowerPoint, and I said, Ring, just go up and talk, do your thing. And every time I followed him, I get smarter. He's a very well-educated elder, and he believes in his people and doing good for them. Just like everyone in this room, you're here, you're sharing your time, you're gathering information. So just a quick intro, free ITV education program is funded by NRCAM. We put in for an application, 2-year funding. Got approved in August, we started in November when we got the money. We had a forum, it was great. On our website, you can see the speakers. We had a dozen speakers talking about EVs. Today I'm going to talk though about the vision for a sustainable future. Raymond and I met when we did the solar project about 2021. We became good friends. Love the guy, he's good. It's a great community. I kind of adopted it. Like he says, he followed me around. I am quite politically incorrect at times. I'm an ex-truck driver, I swear, I'm very passionate. So when I say I'm a swing guy, take it with a grain of salt. Okay, so here's what I want to talk to you about today. 3 things. Since we're focused on travel today, the first is eliminate travel costs, no cost mobility. Imagine a future where you no longer need gasoline. Is it possible? Yes. Can it be done at no cost to community? Yes. There's just an asterisk because we're going to try and always use federal money. Will it create economic development, create opportunities and employment? Yes, of course it will. The other 2 things I'll touch on quickly are empowering the community. So to get communities away from paying for hydro. God bless hydro, but you know what? It's an opportunity with the cost of solar and the cost of batteries coming down that every community can have their own fully independent power system. And whatever power is made by solar is 1 watt of power somewhere in the world that isn't made with coal or natural gas. So that's important. And then the last thing is emergency preparedness. I met the lady last night there. They were locked in their community for 13 days because of the fire this year at Cranberry Portage. The Oxford House, they evacuated the whole community. St. Teresa Point, they get a fire and the elders have to go out, and then the wind changes, it's clear, and the elders have to go back and forth. It's a mess. So let's deal with that too. But first off, I want to set the mood for this conversation. Can you, every one of you, just for a second, imagine 30 tons? Okay, can you picture 30 tons? Let's say 30 tons of ice in your eye, in your mind's eye. That is 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer tall. 30 million tons of ice is equal to 1.5 times the amount of water used in Canada per year for washing, irrigation, whatever, 1.5 times. Now, just think about that. Do you know what that number represents? Some of you might have heard my pitch before, but that is the amount of ice that melts in Greenland every hour. Think about that, every hour. This morning, 1 kilometer square of ice melted in Greenland. And that goes into the ocean, and that's fresh water mixing with salt water, and that is no good. And this has been going on since 1985, 1 trillion tons. That graph, that's how much ice is gone. And that is only Greenland. Permafrost, it's melting. My friends in Nunavut, they're sinking. I drove to Nelson House. I've never been on a roller coaster like that. Every one of you should take a 20-minute drive past the airport and experience that. And please don't go 8 more naked like I was, because my car lifted twice. The road sunk 2 feet. And then came back up. There's this thing I learned about yesterday. It's called, what the hell is it called? That melting. It's the airport I told you. Anyways, I digress. Think about that. We're not here, economic development is one thing, but the future of people is more important. I've got 8.3 grandkids. Every one of you has relatives. Every one of you have grandkids, and they're going to have kids and kids. I met 2 young people, wonderful people from India. They have 50 degrees Celsius days. A human cannot live in that. So when you listen to my presentation, keep in mind we are doing this for the future generations. Economic growth is great, we all need it, but at the end of the day, we got to have somewhere to live. This planet is perfect the way it was, and we've it up. All right, how do you eliminate travel costs? So, imagine a future where we had access to electric vehicles. Okay? There's a thing in Winnipeg, it's called the Peg City Car Co-op. One car co-op vehicle eliminates, if you put it in a block, 16 vehicles. It can be done. They've done it. It's a working model for 12 years. I created this thing called a freebie. I'll get to that sometime. But the future is here now that we could eliminate the need for gasoline with a little bit of less selfishness and having to go wherever we want, whenever we want, and sharing some vehicles. This is transportation symposium. So right now, and love Robert Elms, his concept with the Tesla chargers and all that is the way to go. But the world we live in is the world I live in today, and I'm destined to, well, I don't know what to call it. I want to get an EV charge station between here and Thompson, so by November you can travel from Thompson to Winnipeg. We've got the funding in place basically to put a 120 kilowatt charger in Fairford, Grand Rapids, and Wabona we can only put level 2 because they only got phase 1 power there. It's federally funded, the money's all in place, there's a couple I's, a couple T's to dot. And like, that's $100,000 to do these. Me and my electrician guy are doing it out of the goodness of our hearts. We're not making a dime on it. I got a deal with a charging company that's going to sell them to us at a reduced cost on credit. We're going to buy all the electrical materials on credit. I do have one problem though. In order to get the funding from EnerCam, I've got to be able to pay up front, so I got to get the bridge loan, and I've been trying with the government since May to get this. And it's going to come. I'm going to keep knocking on doors and using a shotgun, and I'll find the funding. There's an extra added cost from Manitoba Hydro for $30,000 each site to upgrade the power, which I do not get. They're going to put in extra power so they can sell more power, and they're going to charge us $30,000 to do that. Or pardon me, it's $24,300 plus about $8,000 for the electrical work. But I digress. Anyways, that's going to happen. We're very close, and it's something we will improve with better, faster chargers. Here's what they should look like. I'm a solar guy from way back. You should have a carport. You should have a battery, and you should have the charging. And then when the power goes out because of a fire or whatever, you've got emergency power around the gas pump, so you can get in and out for the 80–90% of people that still drive or gasoline vehicles. You will not find a person that owns an EV that will ever go back to a gasoline car. I guarantee it. I bought one, and holy smokers, they're great. I put 20,000 kilometers on it, and the reason I did that was because every evening I'm back in my garage, I plug it in, and in the morning I got 400 brand new kilometers. Didn't cost me a dime, well, whatever, $4 worth of power. Okay, so with that, that's the vision. That's what we should have. That's what we came to. We put the chargers in. We put carports over top later. Employment skills. Installation of these charge stations. We can use local electricians. We can train the kids how to put them in and learn electricity. They will require maintenance, so that's another thing. Electric vehicles, basically you got to add what's that stuff called, windshield wiper fluid, and that's it. They don't have moving parts. Do you know that a 120 horsepower electric outboard motor? Anyone want to guess how many moving parts in that machine? Wait, I'll tell you. Four moving parts in a 120 horsepower outboard engine. Anyone want to guess what's in a Merc Cruiser? We're talking maybe 5,000. You got a small little V6 in there. It's a no-brainer. And the cost of gas, again, no-brainer. A 60 horsepower electric outboard motor is the same cost as a Johnson or a Mercury or whatever. Sticker price. You do have to buy batteries, but again, it's the future. So, no cost mobility. So you got electric vehicles and you got micro mobility options. Anyone's ever been in Winnipeg, like you see everyone cruising around on these little scooters that are electric? Great. Electric pedal bikes, great. Electric golf carts for a community like St. Therese or any other incident community, great. Who needs to be driving an F-150 around at $20 an hour? Or if you're in St. Therese, $40 an hour. It just makes sense. Charging infrastructure enables long distance travel. Most people that have an electric vehicle drive around town. They charge at home. It costs them pennies. Occasionally you take a trip. When you take that trip, you get healthier. I bought that car. First thing I did was went to Regina. We stopped. I got to York 2 times to visit my mom in the last couple months. And the way I do that trip now is I slow down. Take a breath, and I drive to Newport. I get out, I walk my dog, I go and have a burger, go to the washroom, and I get back, and the car's ready. Then I drive another 2 hours, and I get to Russell. Same thing. I get out and walk for half an hour. I get healthier, my car gets charged, and I didn't burn any carbon dioxide. Now, someday I'll tell you more about how we do the car share, that sort of thing. But if every community had 5 Highland Ponies at $40,000 a piece, they could share that car in a single month and drive from Grand Rapids into Winnipeg for nothing and back. So, you know, it's a good idea. I know I'm really blowing in time here, but power in the community. Solar energy is a viable option. It is lower, cheaper than it's ever cost. There's funding programs available to community buildings, and there's employment skills opportunities. That picture there, that's St. Teresa Point project. That's where Chief Flett and I met. It's 385 kilowatts, and you know the nice thing about it? It was funded federally, and then Gulf Manitoba, Efficiency Manitoba, kicked us 190 grand because of the efficiency program. We're taking that $190,000, reinvested it in an innovation program, and we're going to put a battery backup in that school, so when the power is out, we can eat, we can have like computers and all that stuff to be safe and clean for 5 days off of that. Part of the process is too, that battery is going to load shave, so when you have a peak demand, the battery gets in it and you lower that peak demand, which helps the grid in general. We take that technology, we prove it works, and it can be done across the province, and that helps hydro meet the demands that are going to be there. So the GICB is open. Now, this program is fantastic. I never thought they'd open it again, but it opened in August. It's 100% funding for buildings like schools, rec centers, daycares, elders, anything but your band office. And it's open 100% for the non-Indigenous communities. I believe it's 80%. 80 of those projects are eligible for the Efficiency Manitoba rebate. So you're actually getting paid 50 cents per watt to do solar. So a typical school will get 150,000 cash back from Efficiency Manitoba for helping them meet their goals. Now, Chief Raymond and I are become good friends, and we get creative. This is what we're trying to create and build in the community. So phase one, you see there was the school. Phase two is underway. It's going to happen over this winter and next summer, where we put in the battery energy storage system. We got an application in for a school bus, and I tell you, putting an application in Heinrich and get funding for a school bus is like using a gold-done smoke signal. You don't hear a thing for 2 years. But it's going to come. We have an application in for local transit, so we're going to get a F-150 van or a little shuttle bus, and we were going to get a F-150 Lightning, but the Chevy trucks are way better, so we're switching to that. I love Ford, but they kind of missed the ball on doing EVs. Other two things we've got coming is this here Line 6. It is a electric-powered Class 6 truck. They're growing, they're phenomenal. You can put a water vehicle on it, you can put a dump truck on it. It's got a 200 kilowatt battery, so St. Teresa, they will run all week. Any northern community, any First Nation, they're small. You don't go far, you're not driving to Brandon with it. One other thing about that bus, and about that truck, and about the van, and about the other truck, is if there's ever an emergency, if there's ever a power outage, we have bi-directional vehicle-to-grid capacity. So, sure, we get 5 days with that 200 kilowatt-hour battery. All of a sudden, whoa. We could basically be offline if we have no solar. And that's how the transition for a community to go from the grid to a distributed energy resource at home is there. My heart pounded this fall, or this like Oxford House, they got that fire. I heard, in the gossip that the power lines got burned down. They were going to have power from, August to November. That's 3 months of community trying to operate without power. Can't do that. So, emergency preparedness. I'm preparing the design for it right now, GICB, for new builds. If the project's over $3 million, you can get totally 100% funded. The building has to be super efficient, it has to meet all their criteria. The building we're designing, it's like this. It's a 5,000 square foot building. It's going to have 80 kilowatts of solar. It's going to be powered by geothermal that's in a lake loop, so it's the most efficient way of heating. The building's going to have a 500 kilowatt hour battery, so it's going to be completely self-sustained for the heat. Now, if as a fail-safe, we're going to have that biomass. You put the wood in, it heats the water, and you can heat the building. And then also, it's going to have the best ventilation system possible. So if there's a fire 5 miles away, and you've got at-risk people, or you've got anybody, and they want to breathe clean, filtered air, they're safe inside that structure. The elders, when St. Therese and they got the fire 10 kilometers away, the wind blows that way, they fly everyone up for $1,000 a head, put them in hotels, fly back for 1,000 2 days later because the wind changed. That's hard on people. It's hard on resources. It's hard on mental. If everyone knows that a shelter like this, self-contained, is available in the community, then, hey, that sounds good. So we're doing that. Okay, 2 slides? I didn't say a lot of talking. Okay, so in order to do my job right, EV funding opportunities, Rural Transit Solution Fund, this program is closed, but the planning is there. Planning gives you $50,000 cash to plan your transition in your community. Zero Instant Transit Fund, this is the, for school buses, for trucks, whatever, they'll fund your vehicles. Yeah, that's it. There's our website. There's all my contact info. I'm going to pass the activity books around for everyone to have a look at, and thanks for your time.